Coming up during our second intermission, we will spend time with the Oshawa Generals captain, Jamie Lever, who is not in uniform today. He was injured last night, minor, thank heavens. And also coming up in our Beehive Super Grad series with Mike Anscombe. This week, sharpshooter Bernie Nichols of the LA Kings, formerly of the Kingston Canadians, and of course our OHL Winter Shootout. All of that coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Jack. See, Bass, that's when it was the Kingston Canadians when Bernie played there.
Oh, yeah.
They're the Raiders now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Was that just after last night? And was that name changed just this morning?
The puck is cleared. Back at center. The Raiders will go after it. And along the boards, it's picked up by Hunt for the Generals. He'll feed it back on the right side. And the Generals will just drive it. Barahowski will go back after it.
You didn't answer my question.
Goche is now back in the Kingston net. So all they did was just kind of defuse that Oshawa power play. Here's Major on the wing. He's got Bodnerchuk in front. Takes the shot. Oh, there's a save by Button as he took that one right off the stick of Mark Major. Back the other way comes Hunt. Hunt down over the Kingston line. Tried to feed it on the left side for Basillo. Basillo takes a hit from Barahowski. And Bodnerchuk will come out of a crowd with it for the Kingston Raiders. Bodnerchuk straight up through the middle at center. Down over the Oshawa line. Bodnerchuk heads to the net. He was grabbed by Davis. There's going to be a hooking penalty there. The Raiders on the delayed penalty get it back at the right point. There's a weak shot tipped in front by Bodnerchuk. The Raiders, now another man goes down. The puck is still loose. And the play is whistled down. It was gloved back to the point. But we're going to get a penalty against the Oshawa Generals with 5:19 to go in the period. And again, specialty teams will come into play.
That's
here.
right. And definitely should be called there. I mean, when he comes in there, he had to make a choice. Give Bodnerchuk credit. He keeps driving and keeps driving. Now get a look here as he brings him down. Didn't get the shot off. Didn't get it. And that's from driving to the net too. That's a Bodnerchuk brought that penalty on.
Coaches will say that's, if there is such a thing, a good penalty.
Yes. Yes.
You know, give them the 2 minutes and hope you don't give up the goal on the power play.
And if you give up the goal, it's a bad penalty.
That's right. So the Raiders going to work on the power play. So far, their power play has struggled, in part from some good defensive play by the Oshawa Generals. Here's Scully with it. Scully gets the pass ahead for Fraser. Fraser can't get loose, and Barahowski will go back and pick it up for the Raiders. Barahowski at center. Shoots it in over the line, goes after it himself. The puck goes along the boards for Doucette. Doucette is spun around, still has possession of it. Tried to get it back to Barahowski, goes behind the net, around into the corner for McKillop. McKillop swings it back behind the net. Bratton let it go, and the Generals will clear it past Barahowski down the ice.
On the puck right away.
And here's Jeff Weaver. Weaver, who can motor, comes down over the line. Weaver waits, holds onto it, turns, trying to get around the defenseman, goes behind the net, gets it to McKillop. McKillop turns at the side of the net, back to Barahowski. He feeds it over on the other side for Simon. Simon gets it back in front. Here's Weaver with it. Weaver turns, had it knocked off his stick. Barahowski keeps it in, gets it back for Weaver in the corners. Tried to center it. There's a shot by McKillop, but made the save on a bang-bang play. Into the corner, Hunt ties up his man. Doucette goes in there as well. And it's underneath the Oshawa player. We'll get a face-off with 43 seconds left in the penalty. A little bit more movement.
Yes, and a little more pressure. Absolutely. The Canadians, a little more pressure there on the puck.
You see Paul Theriault looking on with his assistant, our buddy Rick Bernacchia.
I'll tell you, and he used to coach Kingston when they were the Canadian. The name changed.
Right.
Was that this morning on the way here on the bus? Did they change that name? No, on the contrary. But, you know, I mean, you get used to them. And this is your first year in the league, so you would know it's Raiders.
This is true. Face-off will be to the right of the Oshawa net. Comes back outside the line. Good call by the linesman right there. Barahowski not too impressed with the call, but I don't think there's much doubt it was outside the blue line.
Linesman was right there, so if he didn't see it.
39 seconds left in the Oshawa penalty.
Oh, we're going to get a look here. Oh, yeah, it's outside. No question. My eye saw that.
What's that, in passing vision?
Yes.
Puck comes back at center. Waver will feed it on the right side for Berahusky. Berahusky trying to lunge in on the right side, and Major was a step too fast on the left wing. And the play is offside. 30 seconds left of the penalty, and the Raiders will make some changes. You see Berahusky.
Well, I'll tell you, he was the #1 pick, and I'll tell you, he deserves to be. He's played a lot of hockey. He's matured. For his age, he's a mature young man, and from an eligibility standpoint, he's got 3 more years of major junior after this. That's if he doesn't play overage, which he never will.
No. He might not play the 3 years.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean,
depending on which NHL team drafts him.
Right. The point is that he should get used to television because he's going to be on it a lot.
Comes down on the left side. The Raiders with the man advantage in front. There's a shot that was deflected. Bounces off into the corner. Jamie Allen chops it behind the net. Raiders clear it around on the right side. Craig doesn't get it out. And the Raiders will keep it in. Waver along the boards battles for it. Picked up by Allen. Tried to throw it back in front. It's knocked down. Here's Allen turning. Allen waits, drops it back to Waver. The penalty is over. There's a weak shot bouncing in front. Trickles wide of the net. They center it in front. Comes back to Waver. Waver will take a shot that floats over the top of the net wide on the right side. Cleared at center. Don't get it out. Craig finally does. And Waver can't get it away from Hunt. Hunt comes down over the line. He's all alone. Hunt will put on the brakes. Chips it back across on the other side. And unable to get loose was Banica. Right wing pass for Allen. Allen chips it in on the right side. There to pick it up is O'Hagan, who will get it up at center. Here's Tony Joseph coming back for the Generals. 2:45 to go in the second period. Berahusky takes Joseph out of the play. They bang away. Joseph stays with it. Gets it back at the right point. Cleared into the corner. Berahusky behind the net leaves it. Joseph takes a step into his man. That was Kavanaugh. And back it goes at the line for Davis. Davis comes back for the Generals as we had Banica and Berahusky in deep conversation. Joseph gets it over down on the other side for Ritchie. Ritchie heads to the net. That was stopped by Gauthier. And the rebound goes to Mike Kavanaugh. Here's Joseph. Joseph feeds it over on the other side. Tried to set up Banica. And it's cleared but not out. Back at the right point. Left side. Davis winds up. Shot stopped by Gauthier. Rebound is tipped. And back the other way will come the Kingston Raiders. Less than 2 minutes to go in the period. Cleared in by Grattan. Wide of the net. Doucette in to do some forechecking. And they jam it up and we'll have a face-off to the right of Kevin Budd in the Oshawa net with 1:44 to go in the second period. We've had ourselves a good afternoon. And this is a quick game, Bass.
I guess it is a quick game up and down. I mean, I've lost my breath up here and I'm just moving from side to side on the chair.
Oh, that's too easy.
You see Mav looking on there and always in the game, always intense about it, always gets a lot out of his kids.
Well, the Generals jumped into a 2-0 lead. The Raiders got on the board. Then they went ahead 3-2, and then the Generals have come back with 2. There's a pass that comes back, intercepted by the Generals on the right side. At center comes Kevin Meem. Meem heads to the corner, goes behind the net, chasing it down around on the other side. Being watched by Bodnarchuk. Cleared around on the other side, and Major goes after it. Being watched by Fraser. They jam it up, and the Raiders clear it. On the left wing, down through the middle it goes for Joey Simon. Simon tried to get it to Bodnarchuk and slams it into the corner. And on the left side, Davis doesn't get it out the first time. Now on the left wing, it's Brent Grieve with it. Grieve will drive it into the Kingston zone, and Berahusky chips it behind the net. Grieve goes after it. Over on the other side for Fraser. Fraser drops it back in the point. O'Hagan can't keep it in, and it drifts out to center. Davis at the Oshawa line with 45 seconds to go in the second period. Generals with a 4-3 lead. Grieve checked off the puck by Brock Woods. Scully goes in to help out. And back behind the net, Grattan is on it for the Raiders. Grattan will wheel at his own line at center. Comes down over the Oshawa line. The Raiders are making changes. Doucette steals it, then he was partially spun around. It goes back behind the net. Grattan goes after it. He's knocked off it. Doucette tried to clear it around on the other side for McKillop, and they'll get a stoppage in play with 17 seconds to go in the period. Face-off will be to the right of the Oshawa net.
He's got a bad hand. Terrio, you see the towel right there on Terrio?
You did it again, didn't you?
What's that?
Ed Marcel asks you a question, and then you answer him.
Yeah, I know that. I thought we were just talking back and forth. But really, listen, we see Ed, I mean, not Ed, we see Ed. Now you got me all mixed up here. But we got to go back to Terrio's towel around his hand.
Okay. We'll do that.
Now that we're the only two people talking here.
Well, you've had a lot of conversations with yourself, but I just give you Exhibit A. The puck goes behind the net, and that should just do it as it went through the crease at the buzzer. The Raiders with a good scoring opportunity in the final seconds. And the Generals with a 4-3 lead after 2 periods of play. Let's have a look at it.
Now, take a look here, right here on with a second to go. That whistle isn't gone yet either. Or now the blue light goes on. Hey, the camera people. I always like those guys. They're on top of everything all the way. And Eddie's just showing us again. Hey, and it's 4-3 Oshawa in a heck of a hockey game, let me tell you that.
At the end of 2 periods in our OHL game of the week, we'll return, towels and all, after these messages. 4-3 Generals at the end of 2 periods, and there you see the statistics from the second period. Simon scoring at the 39-second mark, then Cimararo getting a goal to make it a Kingston lead, and then Mahoney from Scully tying it up at 10-13 of the period. And Scully putting the Generals back in front. The shots on goal, 16-12 in favor of the Kingston Raiders.
Seems like a lot more shots than that, you know what I mean? Only 16-12.
There you see the scoring leaders, goal scoring leaders. Ricci with Peterborough, 47. Darren Colburn with 45. And Rob Sameta with 44. We'll see both those players next week. The standings in the Layton division, you can see the importance. Oshawa wins this. They're in first place in the division. And Kingston trying to catch the Toronto Marlies and the Belleville Bulls. And the other division, Kitchener with a 3-point lead over the Niagara Falls Thunder thanks to a big win over the Thunder in Kitchener last night.
Big game last night.
So we're just about ready to get this third period started. We're underway. And the Raiders down by a goal. Have the puck. Simon at center, spun around, and the puck now comes to Jeff Waver, who turns inside his own zone for the Raiders. Picks his way up at center. Now he'll drive a long shot off a skate into the corner. Simon goes racing in after it. Kravich is there. Cleared it back behind the net. Mark Major trying to come up with a loose puck behind the net with Donaldson. They jam away at it. And the other side, it goes into the corner. Mahoney has it. Mahoney gets around a check from Simon. He gets a pushing and shoving back at the net. Kravich was knocked down by Major. And here's Mahoney. Mahoney, who had a very pretty goal in that second period. And the puck comes back at the Oshawa line. Tipped over to Donaldson. Donaldson at center will drive it. In wide of the Kingston net. The Raiders go back and pick it up on the right side and just bounce it up at center. I'll tell you, Oshawa very close to having men on the ice there.
Just 7 or 8.
And here's a chance for the Generals. Fraser in the corner. Tips it over for Mean. Back behind the net. Goes in front of the net. Goes back on the other side. Green trying to come up with a loose puck. And Waver is there. Cleared up at center. Tip back down to the line. And O'Hagan goes after it. And here's Mean. His pass intercepted. Raiders chip it off the boards at center. O'Hagan comes back on the right side. He's ridden out of the play. Cavanaugh can't get anywhere. And Mean throws it back in his own zone for Davis. Davis back at the Oshawa net. We played a minute and a half in this third period. A 4-3 Oshawa lead. Mean comes down, ridden out of the play by Cavanaugh. And McKillop back behind his own net, has it for the Raiders. McKillop checked against the boards. Barahowski tipped it up at center. Bratton chipped it over, didn't get it out. Now back the other way comes Doucette, who will clear it into the Oshawa zone. Dropped off into the corner. There's a shot. Stop the rebound once cleared wide. Barahowski, right point, takes a shot. That is blocked. The Raiders have some pressure on. They'll clip it off into the corner. Doucette chases Fraser into the corner. They jam it up. And they dig it out. The puck comes back to Barahowski. He winds up, takes the shot. That's deflected wide. And the Raiders with some good pressure. The Generals will get it and clear it at center.
Real good pressure.
Here's Cavanaugh over on the other side for Barahowski. Barahowski up on the left side. Doucette can't hold it. And it bounces back on the right side for McKillop. McKillop over the line. Checked by Craig. Throws it into the Oshawa zone. And O'Hagan back to pick it up. And O'Hagan will clear it up on the right side for Mike Craig. He can't get loose. Cimalello cleared it back into the corner. Behind the net it goes. Raiders have come out here and forechecked well. Here's Allen coming out of the corner with it. Drops it back in the point. Shot is tipped wide into the corner again. Raiders with some pressure on. Cleared back on the right side, and Craig has it for Oshawa. Over to Brian Hunt. A 3-on-2. They try to give it back to Craig. Craig tried to get the shot away, too well covered. And on the left side, it's picked up by Jamie Vargo. Over on the other side it goes. Picked up by the Generals in the corner. And they'll get a stoppage in play as the Kingston net comes loose. 16:04, the time remaining in the third period. 4-3 Oshawa. And we'll come right back.
Wanyana. Well, you know, we're going to see the face-off here in the Kingston end, but I'll tell you, they've had some pressure on here for 3 minutes. That puck was zinging around that Oshawa net. They've had some good pressure on it.
There's a long shot stopped by Gauthier. The puck comes back on the other side for Donaldson. Shot goes wide. Weaver can't pick it up. It's tipped around on the other side. And Jason Snow can't get it out. Back behind the net it goes. And now the Generals had some pressure on it. The Raiders will break the other way with it. At center. Long shot. Off Butt into the corner it goes on the right side. There's some contact there. Butt kicks another shot out. Generals clear it around on the left side for McIver. McIver at his own line gets it ahead at center. Craigwell was checked. And it's cleared off the glass, bouncing back at center. Collision there as the sticks got a little high. And on the other side, the Raiders will try it again. Here's Weaver. Weaver comes down over the Oshawa line on the corner, goes back at the General net. Weaver still has possession of it, holds onto it. Tried to throw it across. Berahowski moves up. Berahowski tips. Now the Raider defense starting to do a little gambling, and a shot by Berahowski goes right through the crease into the corner. Berahowski and Weaver both pinching in, going in deep on the play to try to create something offensively. Back come the Generals the other way. Here's Scully. Scully comes down with Mahoney. Mahoney winds up, shot it wide. Rebounded Joseph. Joseph too well covered, gets it to Scully in the corner. The puck pops loose, and here's Major. Cleared it out the first time, gets it back again. Down over the line it goes. Try to sneak one through. There's a whack at it by Bodnerchuk, and covering up was Kevin Butt. Then Major got in there a little late. And there's a little conversation, but that's all with 5 minutes gone into the period.
He was there, right there. If there's no whistle, you got to, you know, I mean, if there's no whistle, everybody has a right to the puck, don't they? Did they change the rules again?
No, I don't think they have.
Okay.